hole. Are we live yet? Yes, we're live. Here comes everybody. Maurice, Sonic, Cormac. I might just push this up here so when I'm looking at the chat, I'm actually looking at you. Almost. Just give it another minute. I'm actually a minute or two early, but I'm impatient. I'm just going to start opening it up. Haha. So I only just got this morning. I'm not even sure what it was that I bought. I just know it was cheap. It was a MacBook Air. It's not a 1466. It's one of the earlier ones, so I'm not expecting much. I'm anticipating either a blown GPU or something else that I can't fix. What is this? 1396, I think. Yeah, it's 1396. 1369, I mean. Looks like my old dyslexia kicking in. This one's had some god-awful stuff spilled through it. So that would mean the keyboard's probably stuffed. It's got a bit of a funny smell about it too. And the screen's got a rolled corner. Why do they always have rolled corners? Honestly, it's nearly impossible to find a screen that hasn't been brutalized. No SSD, of course. Liquid damage is set off. Some sort of nice milk puke on the board. Yeah, the face cam resolution's pretty low. It's just a crappy laptop one. Sorry. Hey, Dragon. Yeah, let's switch over to live puke cam. I gotta get a see, activate the webcam for this one. Yep. Stick a sheet of paper under there so I can slide the MacBook around. Let's have a look at this Chunderfest. Yuck. What about here? So yeah, that doesn't look too promising. It looks pretty damn disgusting. The display connector looks alright. Mismatch in the colours, but could be worse. Keyboard's okay. A bit more scum there. Lots of scum around the CPU. Oh, nice. Nice. They've knocked the... Oh, they managed to do that. Yeah, they've knocked that off. Oh, they look like they've wiped the puke away. That's nice. What's under here? The connector is actually alright. Right on the DC inboard looks alright. Yeah, it looks like they've tried to clean this up a little bit to wash away the puke. Whatever it was. Don't worry, I didn't pay really a lot for it. Okay, I paid a moderate amount, but the junk going under this, is it an MCP or PCH on this one? I'm not sure. That there could be a problem. This under here, so it'll be under there. Maybe I need to put on the ultrasonic cleaner. Hey, Pianov. Let's see. Mork, I have a question. Spilled water on my MacBook, repaired it. Most of the keyboard works, but some of the keys are not working. Or is typing something else. Hey, Wayne Patch. I think it was about $50 US I paid for it. So it's not too much worse than a donor board. So I thought, well, if I get a screen or something out of it, then don't use that. Do you have an oscilloscope on your bench? No, I don't. I've got an oscilloscope, but it's old style one, and I just don't use it. It doesn't really work for this sort of job. A lot of the things I want to diagnose on MacBooks and things like that, you really want a digital storage scope. Something that can capture the waveforms as they happen for playback later. Alright, let's get this board out. It's going to be interesting to see what's on the underside. Trackpad works fine. More could just be the keys in the keypad that have got junk in them. Unfortunately, I've never had any success with really being able to clean those, because I find if you try to wash them, clean them or something like that, all that happens is you might clean out one or two, but you end up destroying others, and so it just becomes an endless process of chasing your own tail. So all I can really say is get a new keyboard, unless you did get a new keyboard. I mean, that's assuming that you've ruled out other things. Yeah, every time at this night, in spite of all my lights, it just feels dark in here. Maybe it's my mood. But no, it's been a pretty good day actually, in the sense of, yeah, that pew looks great. In the sense of I managed to get that rabbit hole sorted out last night. That was a really good thing to do. If I can sort this one out or make a decision one way or another, whether it's just going to be a donor board or not, then I've got my 165 that I need to sort out. It won't detect the solid state drive, and unfortunately it's none of the simple things. These particular MacBook Airs, these earlier ones, I believe are fairly notorious for just killing their own CPUs. So that's why I won't be too surprised if it's dead. PNOV, yeah, it's probably the MCP. It's not a 3437 type one, or a 165. I've got a couple of these, but I wanted to. We've got a nice bit of corrosion there, which means it's probably going to be pretty juicy on the other side. Still can't believe they knocked off that. Yeah, we got a good dose of corrosion there. Oh, PNOV, right. What have we got? Yeah, I should keep you around a lot more, PNOV, because you know all this stuff just by looking at things. It's quite masterful. A bit like Lewis does too. Let's have a look at the board code. Where are you, board code? $30.23. Okay, I've got a lot of donors of this, come to think of it. I could have done with this a week ago. What is that? Oh, that's a real rainbow of collections there. We've got a bit of red and white, a bit of pretty blue, some green, and none of it is actually corrosion. It just looks like something else altogether. That's just been blown in there. This, on the other hand, is corrosion. Still, it's not bad. Let's say our main culprit is this thing here. Yeah, I was worried about that. These tracks could be eaten through. Alright, it's hot flux. MCP for Core 2 Duo. Core I uses PCH. Okay. And so was it the MCP ones that were the real dramas that would kill their CPUs and stuff, or what? I always feel like such a noob with this stuff. Like everyone else around me seems to know everything, and I'm sort of like, I think that's a capacitor. I mean, obviously I'm not quite that bad, but it just feels that way sometimes. Okay, we're gonna need our fume extractor. I need to make a video on my fume extractor at some point. It's not the cheapest to make, but I do like the fact that I don't have to keep dragging a hose around. And it definitely scrubs the air really nicely. It kind of acts as a fan as well in the office when it's a bit of a warmer day. Hey Bailey, is me? Yeah, I actually said your name right for a change. And that looks like a backlight driver, and that looks like it's suffering. Or is it just junk? That looks like somebody has done something with that. It's just a little weird how that ball is... Or maybe it's just flown that way, like reflowed that way. No, somebody... I'm pretty sure somebody reflowed that. And they've merged a couple of balls together there. What do you guys reckon? That looks like two balls touching. Yeah. Definitely look like two balls touching on that thing. And I can see some... It just threw me because there isn't any flux around it or anything. Unless, of course, the person didn't have any flux and they just heated it. I can see the corrosion under there. God damn, come off. We got shorted balls and all sorts of stuff there. Hey Stray! Blame Copaz. Are we still running with that blame Copaz? I think the poor guy's suffered now. It was a very unfortunate episode in life. Okay, so those balls are allowed to touch according to what's on the board, but they shouldn't have been touching. That's the whole point. Still not going to trust it. Yeah, I have not plugged this one in yet. It wasn't even game to try. I was just more curious to see what kind of disasters we could find. So yeah, I don't know why that was bridged. I would have expected some mask over that. I would not expect it to come out of factory without the mask across those two pads, but maybe it does. I haven't pulled it off an existing one to have a look. Yeah, I'm not going to do anything with that yet. That can come afterwards. There's definitely corrosion issues there. Like down here, see this? It's not bad, but it is, eating into the conformal layer. Yeah, well, Cormac, that's just it. It's like, would it have been out of factory like that? Because, see, normally I would expect it to be more like this here. See, we got a little bit across the top. So what happened to the one that was across there? And then all these have been eaten away as well. Anyway, we're getting drilling down a little bit there. We should be checking to see what else is terrible on this board. So I have no idea what the actual problem is on this. It could, for all I know, genuinely be dead. But I'm just kind of curious to see whether we can do anything with an eBay special. That's a little bit of puke streaking across there, and somebody's knocked that part off. Hello. You're not supposed to be just floating around like that. And you've pulled up a bit of a nub there or something. Lovely, you pulled your frickin' nub out. I hope that's not important. Let's have a look. Oh, where are you, board? 3023. Which was it? Right above the big one. This fellow here. Alright, thankfully you're just going to ground, so we can get away with that. Even still, that's a bit brutal. I'm just going to make a change here, sorry. I'll be right back, just realised something. No, I'm not sending an email. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't leave the microphone on if I was going to the outhouse. I suppose the question is that even worth worrying about? I probably should just remove it. I just can't get over how they managed to cleanly pull the stalk out for the veer. I mean, honestly, that's like pulling someone's tooth out. I've never seen that happen before. Oh, the poor little thing. Oh well. I guess really there's not a lot I can do about you. I'll just put you over here and remember you later. Maybe. Lagging? I don't know, maybe. Oops. Oh, I know what's happening. Give me back my stalk. Just put this away. Sorry, it should be over now. Alright. The computer doesn't have enough power to compile and stream at the same time. Alright, we'll keep that as a little keepsake as we move on. I mean, certainly overall I've seen far worse boards. I mean, we all have. I think the winner of the worst board of the world award still goes to the yogurt board that was delivered to Rossmann. I haven't seen worse than that yet, so if anyone wants to up the game there, they can. We've got a bit of corrosion down here, and that could be problematic because that resistor looks less than happy, and that pad... yeah, we might just hot flux that. I'm not really sure what... So that's a bit... that's random floating stuff. Not quite sure what that is. 6-pin down by the SMC. So thinking it's this one here. What do you control? SMC, temperature. Thermal trip. Alright. Okay. Worst boards are the ones where someone's already had a go. Yep. But I guess the problem is that, I mean, it sort of affects everybody. Is you don't know whether to assume the work that was done prior is okay, or whether it's not, or whether something was just overlooked, no matter how good the person is. I had to laugh at the one that Lewis overlooked this on this morning's stream, where he left all the corroded parts on there. That was a bit of a weird. Must have been a bad day for him. Good. Yeah, it wouldn't be a quickie. I'm not that quick. This is where fiberglass micropen comes in handy. Oh yeah, I haven't been able to find any of the 2mm ones. Anyone dropped one in wet concrete yet? I can't imagine that would last very long. The caustic effect of it. I can imagine it would eat it pretty damn quick. Yeah, I might flux those clown generators with all the weird colours. I'm running out of flux. Ever since I put the new tip on, the bigger one, I just keep... Yeah, it just keeps running out. My 2 new tubes should be here sometime next week. So I'm not worried about the missing LED backlight driver yet. This is our original puke fest area. So I've got the garbage in there. I might run the soldering iron over that. And the soldering iron is a bit big for in there. Had a little bit of damage in there I didn't see. Doesn't look bad. Like, I mean, the rabbit hole that I had from the last week, that was just an unfortunate case of there was something important under the area that was reworked. So I suppose really at the end of the day, unless it's blatantly in the clear, you almost have to go back and undo everything that's the person's done before you. What are you? Hey, you look terrible. You look flux-like. I'm gonna melt my poor foam here. Oh, that is just disgusting. It's almost like cat vomit. It's trying to chuck up a hairball. Yeah. And I know that stuff very well because I see it many mornings, or I step in it in the strange hours of the morning. I'm suspecting this is going to need ultrasonic because I really have an idea that there could be junk under there. I think we'll put some power to this and see what happens. Like I said, we're not expecting any backlight. We're just going to see if it even spins. No, I'm not going to be upset or offended if it doesn't spin. I understand that it is an eBay special. Well, there's no point lifting that up. This is going to be MagSafe 1 or 2. I guess we'll find out. Let's go for MagSafe 1. Well, we've got a fan spin. We got a bong. Oh, geez, it actually bonged. Alright. That's funny. Fan spinning a bong. Almost sounds like a drug party. So what I'll do is I'll put that backlight driver back on and see how we go. No, I didn't put the BGA back yet because I didn't see the point until I could prove that it would even do anything at all. There's no point me doing that. I only took it off just in case there was an issue. What do you want, Windows? Man, I'm financially hurting from a stuff up that I made. I went to upgrade somebody the Windows 7 machine up to a nice new machine, and I stuffed up because I bought them an 8th generation i5, and then only after I'd spent a couple of days on it, I realized that Microsoft sent out a notice to say, we're not supporting Windows 7 on anything more than the 6th generation Skylake. And because Dum Daniels had already made this person pay quite a lot of money for all these bits and pieces. So guess who had to buy all those bits and pieces? And then I had to go and buy a 6th generation setup for him. It was just naturally, because it happens really when you don't need it to, and I really didn't need it to. So I've got myself an i5 8400 now, but it's just sitting in the box. I haven't brought myself to put it together. I mean, I know it's only about a 1 or 2 hour job when you do all the transferring and everything like that. No, the batteries are not glued down on this one, thankfully. Whoops, pressed the wrong button. Let's see, get everybody out of here. Where is my... There you are. Backlight, so I pinned one up there. Okay, so you're going to go there. I just realised I really need to put some leaded solder down. Just to get it to... Would I rather do that? I can't remember if I flushed it over with leaded or not. I think I did. Yes, I did. And finally, with the cat that had the broken pelvis, she got a clean bill of health now. So she can now go into Stockholm's. She can now go into the rescue, rehoming process. We still have all the kittens and she is still with us. But yeah, we're kind of running out of room here. We're even taking one of the kittens for ourselves, even though we've already got 3 cats, and it's probably going to be a bit of a push, but we're going to do that just to, help out. And one of the other kittens is already accounted for, so that leaves us with 3 to go. Come on, lead driver, jump. Shouldn't be taking this long. Must have just been stuck on something then. It didn't jump back until I tapped it. Yes, we're cat rescuers here. We've got 7 in the house that we've got under rescue, and there's 3 out in the street, but we're keeping a close eye on them. They get fed twice a day. We monitor them. When I say on the street, yeah, they're not literally on the street, they're just in the neighborhood. Yeah, right, those balls just did that themselves, so it's not someone else has been there. It's almost like from factory, it was missing that coating. Fair enough. Adding power now ACPI tables for an Athlon 64 where I have to report to write. Where I have a report to write. What are you doing there? Are you procrastinating there, Pianov? It's always interesting how there are many tasks that become profoundly more interesting and easy to do when you have another task that you don't want to do. I haven't had a chance to look at your PDF stuff yet, Pianov, sorry. I've been busy with a couple of other little features that I'm working on. The whole PDF thing, yeah, there was a PDF library, I can't remember what it was called now, Hulu or something like that. So I was going to start looking into that. I saw that Cairo thing you were working on, I'm just not sure, yeah, is that cross-platform? Does that work everywhere? Oh. Connect the screen. I've always got to get myself in an angle to do this. There. Okay. Let's get ourselves a boot drive. Got my usual Ubuntu drive. Oops. Don't jump out now. Come on, don't be like that. There you go. Get the flux out of the way. I have 2 cats. One is a Huscat, and you can show the other one is a Belgian one. Huscat. I'm presuming you mean that's a particular breed of it. Okay, here we go. I can't believe we're actually... Ah, man, the screen's got a... Well, that's just great. They didn't say anything about a broken screen. So it seems like the machine actually works, the board, because it was accessing the drive. Hello, hello. Not to fear, not to fear. I actually have another one of these. I've got another machine where the board is dead, but maybe, if we're lucky, the screen is okay. I've never been able to test it because I never had a spare board. So here we go. Meanwhile, everybody's going, why the hell are you even doing this? It's barely worth $20, man. That is really frustrating though, that the screen was no good. Let's see, 3437, bad screen, no. What are you? 165, bad SSD. I know it's around here somewhere. GoPro. There's probably a GoPro sticker on the back of that to cover the indent that is on the screen. starting to lose track of all these scrap machines I've got. At least I think this is a match for what I've got here. No, it's not. No, these are different. Crud. There you are, a 1466. I don't understand. This is supposedly a 1466 chassis, but the main board that was in it... God damn, look, another crimped corner. Every single damn... Are these compatible? Let me find the board that came with originally that's stuffed. Because I just put it straight into donors. I should probably be a little nicer to it. And yeah, here we go. So what is this? This is a 2838. Alright. Fair enough. Right, well I guess the question is, hey Pernov, use your brains. Can I use the same screen that works for the 2838 on the 3023? Can I? Screens between 2010 and 2012 are compatible. The trouble is I don't know which one's which. Art Deco screen, yeah, that's true. The other way I was thinking of doing that whole thing, Penov, was actually as a SVG export. Which, yeah, would be different, interesting. Portable, sort of. Except it seems every browser does SVG differently. Alright. So I'm going to sit here now and wait for someone to tell me if this screen could be... Try is the answer. Yeah, I suppose so. What's the worst that can happen? I suppose the message comms will just say, no, we don't handle this one, go away. Looks like I'm going to have to pull the DCM board out. Well, the cable length's a perfect match on this one. Not that that matters. There's been plenty of things in life where it's supposedly a perfect match, only to find that it's in fact horribly wrong. I'm trying not to relive any old dating experiences. Okay, DCM board's out. Hey, Slider 68. Whatever. Yeah, it was just a shame I didn't get that exploding MOSFET the other day. Well, I mean, I almost got it. I only got the reflection of it. So if the screen works, then what I might do is take it off this chassis, put it on the other chassis, and then at least it'll be something of a match. Okay, the speaker cables do not match up. Not that I was expecting that. At least we know the backlight driver worked. I'm not going to get a bong this time because the speaker is not connected. I don't think it's supposed to be showing just white. I suspect that's wrong. I think we've... plug something into it. What did I do with that SSD? There it is. I even have a 256 gig SSD for this thing. It came out of the one that was in this chassis. I was very surprised. I was like, that's a score. Just unfortunately it's not a crikey. Just unfortunate it's not a 16 plus 12 type SSD. That fan is cactus. I can feel it grinding. No, I don't think these screens are compatible. Because it should be booting right now and it's not, so that's a no. Oh well. Well, I could say though that most likely this board is actually repaired to a degree. We'll throw that in the ultrasonic and find out. But it looks like I'm going to have to be on a new quest to find a display that works with it. Will this work with a 1466 screen? Now there's a question. Anyone want to... I've got a spare 1466 around here. What do we got? Where's Pernov when I need him? No, actually it won't, because that was a 1466 screen. Right, I already know my answer. Alright, so at this point, without a test screen that works, we're just gonna have to run by assumption. I suppose I could see if it boots Ubuntu and actually shows a partial image or something like that. I'm guessing by the level of damage it's just going to continue to show white. Come here. Get out. Another thing I've just noticed is they broke the... Why did they do that? Yeah. They've broken the end screw down for that heatsink. No, not the heatsink, the heat exchange unit. Some people can be real brutes when it comes to computers. I mean, like I said, we've got that missing there. Let's have a look at that. And really, why? What did you do to that? I mean, okay, there's no damage, but it looks like they've actually... Okay, let's be the detective here. Have an external screen? I don't have one I don't have a DisplayPort screen. So it looks like, based on the gouging out in here, they were really cranking down on it, and you can see it's... Yeah, they've like lifted all this up, so it obviously just acted as a pull, yanked it clean off. Dumbasses. I don't like to call people names for doing things like that, because we all do make mistakes, but that stuff is dumbass class, mostly because you can feel when you're doing that to a board. You can feel when you're tightening down on it and it's screaming for its life. And all you're doing is just giving it more. So yeah, if you do that, I will give you the dumbass classification. For other mistakes, I can understand, you know, for stuff that you just, like if you don't have experience with it, or, you know, it just doesn't give any indication that that's something's going wrong. When there's definite physical feedback on something going wrong and you're still doing it, then yeah, sorry. No sympathy from me on that one. And it's not like it would be subtle. just going to see if this comes up some sort of purple screen or anything. It looks like a tree on a hill surrounded by a great cloud and blown off to the side. I don't know. Impressionist art. And there goes that fan, that poor fan. I think they probably leave it into that fan as well. I meant to buy a DisplayPort adapter the other day and I didn't. It was like 50 or 60 bucks and I was like, yeah, I won't need it. Just, there you go, there's the purple, so it's definitely beating. So I'd say, yeah, we've got a working motherboard here. So it's not bad. Working motherboard, eBay special, but the downside is now, because it's a working motherboard, I can't use it for donors. Well, I suppose I could, but... Okay, I guess I'm just going to leave it like this. Put the cover on. Mine. And save it for the day that we find a suitable screen with a completely dead mainboard. Looks like someone who tried to mimic a crocodile with the... yeah, I see what you mean. They're like black and white screen stuff. Well, I'm going to have a look at this mainboard again. Now this one is a rabbit hole, but it's my own rabbit hole, so it's not so bad. This is the one that will not see my solid state drive, no matter what I try. So I'll give it a go again, just in case there's been a miracle. But what I do find confusing about this is it comes up with the crossed out circle symbol, which as far as I can understand means I can see the drive, but I can't see any data on it. So I don't know whether it uses a different signaling pair for detecting the drive to what it does to transfer an actual data. Like maybe there's a SPI or I2C line that it runs off. Yeah, so this is what I end up with, crossed out circle. So as far as, I mean, this boots everything I put onto the USB just fine, but it won't see properly the SSD. So welcome to confirm or deny my theory, but one person said I should try looking at the clocks. Maybe I've got an unstable clock and it can't transfer the data properly. I just don't know. As I had wood, yeah, this was the one that I did a few nights ago. And I've had to run the wire across from the other side. You guys will probably get flashback memories once I show it. This is the one that blew up the SMC power section, and I had to reroute everything. What does it say under Linux of GDisk? Alright, let's do that. Pernob's in control. I was fairly sure I tested that, but I'm more than happy to try again. On the upside, I'm getting plenty of practice of these boards. Assembling them, disassembling them, washing them, fixing them, yelling at them, crying over them. All the emotions that a normal technician experiences. Where did you come from? I'm scared to think. it is. Wait for that to boot. Hey ITM2, been a while since I've seen you around here. And the DefPoms repair channel has arrived too. And Thomas Traeger. But, oh, okay. I know what's happened here. I just have to shut that down and press the option key and I'll bring it back up. Come on, turn off. Okay. So I'm fairly sure it's seen the solid state drive. For some reason it doesn't like its partitions or whatever. Come on. Give me there we go. There you go. So you can see it's there. But I know this drive definitely works in another machine. I suppose what I can do is just simply boot to Linux and see if I can see any files at all on it. We've got another USB port. Yep. I'm getting sick of craning my neck over there. So cheat. Use a USB mouse and keyboard. There we go. My wife's not happy. I'm laying in bed watching this. Oh, she's sharing time together. Have you looked at the data lines? Yes, I have. And the resistors on that line can mess. Yes, I have. Have you actually tried another SSD? Yes, I have. That's the thing that's sending me a little bit up the wall. I just don't know. Because this is a 00165. This SSD boots fine in the 3437. I didn't imagine there would be a major difference in that, but this is a little dim, but okay. Other locations, Macintosh hard drive. Oh, it's all there. So it just doesn't want to boot for some reason. So, alright, I've been the moron, and I've sort of been spending the last couple of days, well, prior, chasing a fault on the board that maybe doesn't even exist. Users, Mac, yeah, that's my stuff. Hilarious. So it's readable and everything. So what's going on? What's happening here? By the way, about the LCD panel, I don't know. I think that 2010-11 compatible, no compatibility in 36. Okay, yeah. Well, Penov, we tested it, and it, yeah, your theory's right. It doesn't come up. So, has High Sierra on a solid state? Yes, it does have High Sierra on that one. It was installed on the 3437 is what I installed it on and upgraded on. Is it APFS? I don't know. I'm going to have to now open up a terminal window, which means I'm going to have to get my keyboard. And I'm going to have to do it indirectly. Aha. Fantastic. I can do this. Crack it. What do you... I don't even know what the message... grep... SD, ABCDF. What do we got? A 256 gigabyte drive. And that is SDA. So we go fdisk minus L SDA. I need permissions to do that. I'm supposed to be root by default. Well, speaker works. We already knew that anyway. Big secret password. Apple HFS, HFS Plus. Yeah. It seems to be HFS, which would make sense because Linux is reading it. I didn't think Linux could yet read the AFS. It would seem that you indeed need a firmware upgrade to boot on APFS. How am I supposed to do this? Do I just go back into recovery mode? Guide me, oh intelligent people. I'll be honest and thought that given that it was installed via a 3437, the earlier version, at least as far as my understanding, that's an earlier version, that it would work on a subsequent version. Well, looks like I could be wrong. Yeah, because I'm fairly sure it won't read the APFS, because I know there was a bunch of talk about trying to get that to even read on Linux. I was looking, I think, who is it? I forget the name of the company now, but they produce a kernel driver for HFS and NTFS, a commercial one, and I've bought a license for that, and I was looking to see if they had it for APFS. Anyway, what am I doing? Oh, that's right, I need to see if I can boot into recovery mode. There's nothing on this solid state drive that I need, so I can gladly just destroy it. Let's see, option R. Oh, it's Command R. God damn it. Oh, actually, I just realized I have got an installer disk. Yeah. Where are you, installer USB? I had to do this the other day for another computer. Here we go. Oh, crikey, option. Alright, Dragon, thanks for stopping in. Open source user space drive was in the work as well. Okay. I'll have to look around for that, because I suspect it's something we're going to run into a fair bit more. There we go. We've got my boot disk. Ah, got an Apple. This is what I find really frustrating at times. Some people find this enjoyable, but I find it frustrating when there's so many things to learn, and particularly in a dud time zone or something like that, you can miss the obvious until someone comes along and sort of goes, hits you in the back of the head and tells you what you've missed. So, because honestly, I have been going over this board for a long... There were a lot of faults on this board originally, but I've been going over this board so many times, trying to find this elusive fault, and all the signals were right, everything as I was expecting, and I couldn't understand why I was getting the crossed out circle, because, as I said before, as far as I understood, that said, hey, I can see the SSD, but I don't like the data you've got on it. Paragon, that's it. Thank you, Pernov. Thank you. The Paragon stuff, I've bought that, and I was looking to see if they had the APFS as well. See what else while I'm waiting for this. I'm watching it on the screen, so... I agree. Also, Pernov, partition type is not the same file system, but it was at least going to give me some indication up front. This is taking a while. Are these ports USB 2 only, I'm guessing? Jesus scans... What? APFS views. Cool. Gonna have a look at that while I'm waiting. Oh, okay, so it's undocumented, should be considered experimental, may not read all the files, may return the wrong data. Alright, sounds like a normal open source project. The reason why I've got the Ubuntu stick is simply just I use that for everything, and I know it's just something that will boot on these machines, so I'm using it as a test. I'm not actually installing it on it, I'm just simply using it as a test system for diagnosing if things work. That's all. I mean, why would you put Ubuntu on a macOS system? I mean, a Mac, when you can just put macOS on there. No, people will just think that you're doing dumb things instead of thinking maybe there's a reason why you're doing it. Really, I get sick of that crap. Yeah, the number of people on the internet that look at something you're doing and decide, oh, you're doing it wrong because you're doing it this way. It's like no one ever stops to think maybe there's a reason why they're doing it. But no, instead it's just like, let me jump on my little high horse and start attacking people down on the ground. It just fucks me right off, that does. No, it's not data recovery. It's just I'm testing to see if the board works. What the hell is Parrot Security anyway? What's it for? I mean, I don't understand. What am I going to be using that for? Someone clarify me here. I don't know what this parrot is. I don't know what you're trying to say. So spell it out a little bit better because obviously I'm missing something important there. This is not me trying to install a system yet or anything. It's just me checking to see if the drive works. The reason why I use Ubuntu as a test, mostly because it's already on this drive. It works. It covers everything that I need. I don't have to have a billion different other test drives. It just use that one, and it gives me an indication whether the screen's working. It gives me an indication if the audio's working, the Wi-Fi's working, the solid state drive's working. Yeah, all those sort of things, and it's quick to boot. And it works for all my PCs as well. What's going on? Is it still going? Yep. Kali license. Yeah. I like to stick with the mainstream things like Ubuntu because I can get support straight up for it if I need to. It's dependable. It's there tomorrow 99% of the time. I mean, I used to be a Slackware person, and that wore thin after a while. Yeah, after a few years, you sort of drop the idea of doing everything yourself and just start getting someone else to do it for you, so you can do better things yourself. Well, let's go for install macOS. Why not? Let's see if it even works. No point repairing it. There's no real trick or anything special about it. It's just a case of it's a common distribution that everybody uses. It's kept up to date. Most people making packages will make it work with Ubuntu. I guess it's a system with the least number of hurdles because there's already enough hurdles dealing with Linux. You don't want to have more than you need to. Yeah, seems like it's worked. So there you go. I basically spent a few days fretting over a fault that I didn't actually have. So I think I might leave it at that. Yeah, it's fun when you're younger and you've got time and you don't have to worry about making money you don't have to worry too much about who's keeping the roof over your head or who's keeping you fed. But yeah, after a while it does grow a little bit thin and you just sort of go, well, I'll leave that to someone else to do now. Someone else who's got that sort of enthusiasm. So I think I'm going to leave this at that. Thank you very much, Pernov, for slapping me in the back of the head and making me check that again. So it seems like we just simply had a case of an incompatible system on that solid state. Now what I'll be curious to find out is if I move this drive back to the 3437, will it do the same thing? Will it also come up and say, look, I don't want to work with this? I'm not saying I'm going to do that, but I'm just sort of curious as to whether it would or wouldn't. But if you're wondering about the fix on this particular board, that was done a few days ago. I can't remember the title of the video, but it's the 820-00165. I think it's about the only one in the last couple of weeks. And it was a live stream, went for about 2.5 hours. Oh, we're actually beating. All right, well, let's just wait and see what comes up here. Nice thing is this screen doesn't have any dents on it. It's a perfect screen. So it looks like I finally got myself a 165 system, which is what I've been wanting. Oh, you're just a progress bar. I thought it was a piece of junk. Yeah, that's the other thing. It's good as a test. Like I will install Peace Sensor and DD Rescue, the latest version of DD Rescue. That's on my solid state drive there, the test drive. And with that, along with a CPU burn tester and things like that, I can eliminate a great majority of issues that may be occurring to a Windows machine without even having to log into it or anything like that. So you can eliminate, is it overheating? Does it have hard drive issues? Does it have memory issues with memtest? Can it connect to the internet? Does it have good sound? Are all the network ports, are the USB ports working? So it's a great environment that boots fast, has all the tools you need. Yeah, there's probably some more elitist type systems out there. I do have SysLinux as well, but I find if I got the chance, I prefer to use the Ubuntu boot. So I'm going to leave this be. It's obviously going to take a while, and I'll cancel off from there. Anyway, thanks all for watching. Thank you, Pernov, and I'll see you next time.